and welcome here to MoreTalkFCB. And you know that things are happening when a video gets uploaded on MoreTalkFCB. You know it's probably a special time, and it is. Because right here, we are still building up to the crunch game on Tuesday against Inter. It's massive. It is just so big in terms of our season. Because look, guys, I understand here that we are right in contention there. We are in a great spot for the La Liga title. We have already wrapped up the Copa del Rey. We've already won the Super Cup. And of course, we did that in incredible fashion there. Beating Madrid in 2 finals. It's special. It would also be very special to beat Real Madrid to the league title. But of course, it's the Champions League. That is the one that we've wanted for so long. And that's not really to devalue what we can do in the league. And if we didn't end up winning the Champions League, it would still be an incredible season. There's no denying that either. But it's just saying here that the Champions League, it's so special. It is the one that we've gone without for a decade. Now, in my view, and I think in all of our views, that is simply too long. For a club like Barca, for what we've achieved in this competition, for what we want to achieve, it is way too long. And that is why we are so desperate. We are so desperate to put that right here, to put that right this year. And it's shaping up beautifully for us. However, guys, I want to actually talk here about a quote that Hansi Flick came out with after the first leg against Inter, of course, which was such a topsy-turvy game, such a turbulent occasion. It ended 3-3, and immediately after the game, he said, on Tuesday, in the second leg against Inter, we will play a final before the final. So in other words there, yes, it's the semi-final, yes, it's the semi-final second leg, but it's a final before the Champions League final. And I thought there, those words were very powerful. And not only powerful, but also incredibly accurate. And I want to talk here about how, in my opinion, this is the toughest Champions League game that we will face all season, regardless if we make it to the final. Even if we make it there to the final of the Champions League, I believe this is a harder game. These have been harder occasions for Barca than a Champions League final would be. And if anything, that adds pressure on this game. Because in my opinion, if we could get through this, we could actually win it. We could genuinely win the Champions League. If we get through this game, in my opinion, we've got the hardest part out of the way. And let me explain why I feel like that right now. Because number one, and the first thing to consider here, is the team that we are facing. Inter Milan, stylistically, they're a nightmare for Barca. Of all the teams that we have faced this season, the type of teams that cause us the most problems on the counter, and also there in terms of breaking them down, it's teams like Inter. They are a nightmare team for us to face. That is why we all said we wanted Bayern. We wanted Bayern to overcome Inter and get through so we could play them again. Because we know against Bayern there's going to be spaces opening up. It's going to be an end-to-end game. They're going to make it quite open there. We enjoy those spaces. With Inter, they give you nothing. They make you work. They make you really work hard for every little tiny bit of space. And we can't work our magic as much. That is why it took from Lamine Yamal in the first leg a sensational solo goal. He found space where there wasn't any. It took that to score against them. It took a moment of literal genius to score that goal. So stylistically here, Barca and Inter do not match up well. We do not like facing teams who have that low block. We do not like facing teams there who have a lot of pace though, who can actually transition very well. They pass the ball well. They really do work their way through. They know when to actually move. They know when to go. They know when to be disciplined. They're an excellent team, there's no denying that. So Inter here and Barca, it's not a good matchup for us. That is why it's also more difficult, in my opinion, than facing Paris Saint-Germain in the final. Because again, with PSG, you know what you're going to get. You know, no doubting they're dangerous, no doubting they've got some incredible attacking players. One of those we know very well in Dembele, but they will leave space. There will be opportunities for Barca. If we concede 1 or 2 against PSG, we can believe that we can come back and score 2, 3 and 4. So there's going to be opportunities, and we would fancy our chances there in that kind of end-to-end battle. But against Inter, there's no guarantee you're going to get that, especially if they score first, for example. If you give them something to protect, it's going to be even more tricky. But then there's the second point of view here, why I believe here this game is more difficult than a potential final would be, and the reason for that is the injuries at Barca. Now, in my opinion, if we find a way to get through this game with the players that we have now and the players that are out, it's a miracle. It is an absolutely incredible feat that would make the final seem like a walk in the park. If we can get through away at Inter without Balde, without Koundé, I mean, to lose two, not only fullbacks, but you've got to understand how key they are. You've got to understand this season how integral they have been to Hansi Flick's entire system. Without those players, we would have achieved nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have both been two of the standout players in our team, and they deserve so much appreciation for that. And if we were to find our way through without them, and without having Lewandowski for the first leg, having him come back in the second leg here, we don't know how fit he is. And then you've lost players as well, like Marc Gasardo. You've got players out there who haven't really been involved too much, but it all adds up. And that is why, in my opinion, again, if we can get through this game, if we can somehow pull off a win, even despite the circumstances, even despite these obstacles, it would be unbelievable. I believe if we could do it, guys, I mean, we would celebrate that like absolute crazy, because it would be a monumental achievement, and it would be a testament, really, to what this team are capable of, what kind of mental strength they have. And I guess that's why I'm doing this video here. I am feeling nervous ahead of this game. Let's be honest, we are all feeling right now nerves inside of us, because we know there's such a great chance for us here. We know that we are 90 minutes away from the final. And again, if we could get there, it's a massive chance. You know, the opportunity is enormous. We would have gotten over the hardest part. But to do that, you've got to be Inter. To do that, you have to go there on Tuesday and find a way to win. And I believe that we can. You know, we have such incredible players. And I would look today, for example, and even the players getting off the plane. I mean, you look at Lamine Yamal, for example. He's actually coming into Italy there. He's stepping off the plane. He looks as though he's going for a game in the local park. He doesn't look like a player who's about to arrive for a make-or-break Champions League semi-final games. And I think that's what we have to remember here, guys. As fans, we're not actually playing. We're not the footballers. We're not involved here. You know, I wish that we were, but we're not. We're on the sidelines. We're watching on. And we have to remember what these players are capable of, what these players have achieved, the talent that they have, and they will believe. They may be feeling some nerves. They may be feeling here like this is a big moment, a big opportunity. But above all else, they have confidence. They have belief. And they have a coach behind them who believes in them, who has trusted in them all season, and they have a style that in their mind, they are rock solid on. They 100% believe in what they're doing, and that's why they can do this. No matter what we have to come up against, no matter what kind of game plays out on Tuesday, what we have to do as fans is believe in this team until the end. Every minute, every ball, every moment, we have to believe we can do this. We can reach the Champions League final. Let me know how you're feeling, guys. Let me know the emotions, and let me know if you believe. Can we do it? Can we make an unbelievable Champions League final? I will see all of you guys soon. Enjoy the occasion. Enjoy these moments. But until next time, as always, Vejka! Real Barça!